A new report from New York Magazine reveals that the Obama administration had a secret plan in place prior to the 2016 election. They feared that President Trump, if he lost, would not accept the results of that election. And so the administration plotted with several Republicans to, quote, validate the results and ensure an orderly transition of power. They also had another plan in case then-candidate Trump disputed the results. They were going to whip out members of the so-called intelligence community to claim that Russia had weighed in on his behalf and therefore make his claims to victory seem less legitimate. Of course, in the end, he won, but they kept telling that story anyway. Russia, Russia, Russia. The point is, they've been planning that for a long time. Author and columnist Mark Steyn joins us tonight to assess what this means. Mark, great to see you. So we learned that the whole Trump campaign wasn't legitimate because really Putin was running it. This was a storyline that was already ready to go before anyone voted.
Yes, I think what they're trying to do here, Tucker, is to reverse engineer an explanation as to why the governing party was investigating its political opponent, which is, of course, classic banana republic stuff. And as you say, the Russia collusion stuff was baked into the pie back in 2016. It isn't going anywhere, so they've now added this new wrinkle to it, which is that they were fearful that Trump, as the big loser, would not accept the result of the election. In fact, I think this is nonsense. They weren't worried about Trump losing. They were worried about him winning. But the point is they're trying to construct a narrative that explains why the ruling party were investigating the opposition.
But I wonder, what would that have looked like?
Republics.
So, how radical would Trump have gotten? If he had lost, would he have, say, written a book blaming everyone else but himself for his loss? Would he traveled the country for 2 years giving speeches, again, calling everyone who was against him a racist and calling the country stupid? Yes. Would he have gone that far?
Yes, I think he'd have worn ill-fitting pantsuits and gone on a tour of Montreal, Toronto, and Oxford University, because that's what That's what losing candidates seem to do. In fact, the people who do complain about losing the election are Democrats. If you recall, in 2000, Al Gore, late at night, called up George W. Bush and said he was asking for a recount. And Bush said, you mean you're retracting your concession? And Al Gore famously replied, there's no need to get snippy. Democrats are the ones who have actually contested the results of the election. There's not a lot of evidence that Donald Trump was doing that. He was just having a joke, as is his wont. And what's actually disturbing to me, because this is another sign of totalitarian societies, is when Trump makes an obvious joke like, hey, Vladimir Putin, if you're watching, maybe you could cough up those emails of Hillary's you've got. When he makes an obvious joke, intelligence agencies then say, oh, we need to investigate Trump's joke. That's actually what they did behind the Iron Curtain, yes. And it's a bit disturbing that it's now happening on this side of the Iron Curtain.
Whatever they're accusing you of doing is exactly what they're doing themselves. That turns out to be the one true rule about their behavior. Yeah. Mark Steyn, it's always great to see you. Thank you for explaining that.
Thanks a lot, Tucker.